I can say 5% of yoga. That is something which I got exposed to when I did my teacher training program. And those personality defects, each one of us, we have it, which I used to prioritize apart from my health. And in meditation, the mind develops that kind of a power, we can say. It gets that microscopic power, we can say. Yeah, we hear snoring in our class.
Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another wonderful episode of the Manthan Mehta Show, wherein we have yet another yoga teacher with us today. And why should I introduce her? I request her only to introduce herself. Ma'am, I would request you to please to the honor.
Okay, namaste everyone. Myself Priyanka Patra. I have been teaching yoga for past 7 years now, and I have done my advanced teacher training program from Yoga Institute Santa Cruz. And ever since then, I have been working with Yoga Institute with their different teacher training programs, online, offline, and in the various branches as well, like at Santa Cruz and Matunga and Powai. Yeah.
So how did yoga happen to you? How did you end up doing or teaching yoga? What's your story with yoga?
So yoga came to my life as a self-care regime, where I started with a 7 days camp with Yoga Institute.
Okay.
And then further I became very inquisitive about knowing yoga more in depth.
Right.
So I went for the advanced TTC, where I learned many aspects of yoga as any lay person. Like even for me, yoga was just asanas or pranayama or maybe some relaxation or meditative techniques.
Right.
Yeah. But yoga is much more. When we just say asanas or pranayama and all, they are just, I can say, 5% of yoga.
Okay.
The rest of the yoga is the main crux, I will say, the philosophical part of yoga. So that is something which I got exposed to when I did my teacher training program.
If you could just explain us what that whole thing is all about.
So if I talk about two major theories of yoga, one is Yoga Sutra, okay, given by Maharishi Patanjali.
Right.
Okay, and another is Sankhya philosophy, given by Kapil Muni.
Okay.
Okay, so both of these philosophies are so intrinsic and beautiful. If we are able to inculcate in our life, we will never have to go to any counselors or yeah.
So we are talking about the mental part of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So in Yoga Sutra, it talks about everything, not only the mental part, but also the physiological, about the routine, and it also talks about how our mind is actually made up, and why some personalities are such that even after they try really hard, but they keep falling back to their same you can say habit or patterns again and again, because they are being structured in that kind of a personality structure, which are called as personality defects rather, by Maharishi Patanjali. And those personality defects, each one of us, we have it, and that's the main core reason that we take birth. So those are like called as kleshas basically.
Okay.
So there is a lot of things.
Interesting.
This all knowledge actually gave me a lot of understanding about myself, about my mental makeup also, and how I could change it. Okay. Because how I landed into yoga, again coming to that question, I had a lot of anger issues.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Now looking at me, many of my students, they have kept telling me that, looking at you, we cannot imagine you being angry or, that kind of aggressive person. So, but yes, I did had that 10 years back, and due to which my health really suffered to that extent that I had to undergo a surgery for my, small intestine, because I had developed ulcers.
Oh, okay.
See, any emotions is going to have a certain manifestation in your body if it stays for too long.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. So anger can.
So anger stuck with you for too long. That's
too
what you're
long.
saying.
Yes, and that also it was a very suppressed anger.
Oh,
we can
okay.
say. So where I could not express out, and I was just bottling up inside, and then of course it is going to show up in some or the other way.
Right.
So that is how it showed up, and then when I was like kind of a bedridden. And then when I realized that, when we can't move our body, even if you have a lot of dreams and ideas in your mind,
nothing would ever happen. Yeah.
Nothing can actualize.
Right.
So that is when I now started keeping rest all the things which I used to prioritize apart from my health. So I started prioritizing my health, and that brought me towards yoga, because when I was trying to deal with my health to improve it, I had tried everything under the sun, like we can say, from naturopathy, homeopathy, Ayurvedic, even counseling I underwent, that what is there, that I am holding in myself, that is bringing about these kind of, conditions or manifesting in such a way in my body. So that also definitely it helped me to some extent, but a complete 360-degree transformation, it happened through the theory part or the knowledge of yoga, where I learned how I can accept myself.
Interesting.
First to accept your dark side, then slowly start working on it, slowly, gradually. Of course, we keep failing again and again, but we have to keep trying. And thanks to my teachers, because they have been really helpful and kind, and they have kept guiding me in every step. So yeah, that is all. That's why I'm here with yoga.
There's a different side of yoga which people haven't witnessed to, but that's interesting. There's a mental health side of yoga as well.
Correct. Yes, totally. Okay. And that's a very interesting one, actually.
Okay.
And that's the same thing I'm doing with all my teacher training programs with Yoga Institute, where I'm trying to, expose the students also towards this part of yoga. Okay. It's not only asanas and pranayama, but try to explore your own self and try to make that required corrections to make your surrounding more peaceful, instead of having that constant friction with someone or the else, or within your own self and all. So how you can smoothly sail through the life without creating too much of trouble for yourself and for others around.
Interesting.
So that is what.
So how does a class of yours look like? I mean, how do you help people with their mental health?
See, when I take the asana class, so there the interest related to the mental part is little less, because of course their approach is very different. They come for the physical benefits only. That is what their goal is. So there I can't, if I will start doing the philosophy, probably they will leave the class maybe within few days itself. So because that is not the mindset they are coming with. But for teacher training program, they don't have an option. They have to listen to you. And not only that, but then of course, as our teachers have groomed us, like through stories and through some examples and even their own life examples, which really helped us to, go through this theoretical part of yoga and to become interested for it. So even like it's been 7-8 years, I have finished my teacher training program, but still me and many of my other classmates who had done this course, we are still doing our understudy with our senior teachers related to this Yoga Sutra and
basically you're still connected with them, and you're actually invested with the idea of the mental.
Because my teachers also, they believe if we are teachers, it is very important that we keep learning.
Interesting.
We have to keep upgrading ourselves. We have to improve ourselves all the time, to be called as a yoga teacher, because yoga is not just asanas or
Oh, so you are done with asanas now. You are actually evolved.
Not done with asanas also, because even to perfect the asanas, it takes really long time and it takes patience also. So that is also going on, but along with that, yes, I have now got interested into the philosophical part of it as well. So yes, I'm enjoying that.
Interesting. So what exactly is yoga? This is something that you have already spoken about. How many students you have until now? I mean, until now, how many people have you trained?
I must have trained more than thousands.
Perfect.
More than thousands.
And in these thousands, there will be many people who would have thought of yoga as some different thing altogether. So a few examples if you would like to add on. Isne ye socha tha, isne wo socha tha.
Whenever I have said this particular statement that yoga is not only asanas or this. So they were like surprised. Seriously, we up till now we used to think this only, ki ye hai and all. And then of course they became curious and to know, okay, what is the other 95% of the yoga that we want to know it and all like. So then it becomes interesting. Other, of course, they always compare asanas also with the other regimes of fitness like Zumba है या Pilates है या gym है, तो कहीं ना कहीं they feel yoga a little slow. Whereas when even I am doing a classical posture, that also can be intensified if done in a right manner. Like, of course, yeah, you have experienced that even the simple postures can become meditative.
True.
The stability, the muscular control that you gain, the attention towards your particular muscles when you are doing certain postures and all, like. So that is something very important, because there has to be a alignment of your mind, your breath, and whatever you are doing, your muscular, stretch. Means your mind is somewhere else, you are doing something, breath पे तो ध्यान ही नहीं है, so that is not yoga.
Okay.
There has to be a union of this. That is what yoga is.
Interesting. And you spoke about meditativeness or meditation. Now, what exactly is meditation? There is a big dilemma, and people think that Shanti se ek baaju baith jao, that is meditation.
Correct.
So, is that meditation?
Okay. So, meditation is a very loosely used word. Right? First of all, meditation is not karvaya nahi ja sakta. It is something, it is a state which we get into gradually when we start becoming, we start gaining that kind of a stillness within ourselves. And that is the purpose of asanas also. Why we do asanas? So that we make our body in such a way that when we are trying to sit in meditation, it doesn't create any obstacle for us.
Okay.
It doesn't give us any aches and pains or that adjustment of the spine. If we want to sit straight, upright, for that, maybe just for as a beginners, if we are sitting maybe for 10 minutes. Again, in that 10 minutes also you will see that something will be scratching or something will start aching or numbness will start happening. So that's why through asanas first we try and gain the physical perfection, that where the body is able to sit still. So as a very simple example, if you are again coming to the meditation part only, imagine a bottle. If the bottle keeps moving all the time, the water will not get stable inside. So the bottle has to become stable. Then only and even after some time, the water will start settling down. So water is going to take even further more time to settle down. So the water aspect is the mind.
True.
So when you make your bottle steady and strong, slowly that ripples towards your mind. Your mind will also become stable and strong.
Interesting.
And then slowly with that strong mind, because see, imagine, like there is a concept of conditioning that we do during our classes before we start the classes. In that we have to just focus on our breathing, right? How difficult it is, even that for just 2 minutes, we can't fix the mind on the breathing. Within that 2 minutes also, multiple thoughts will come and we are going to multiple, areas of our life and visiting and coming back, right? So imagine mending the body is much more easy than mending the mind. So then there is something called as Ashtanga Yoga. Okay, Ashtanga Yoga has eightfold paths, if I tell it in English. So usme the initial 5 stages are called as Bahiranga Yoga. That is Yama, Niyama, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. So these are the first initial stages, and these are must for the beginners of yoga.
Okay.
Yeah, a must for them. Okay. And then comes that is Antaram Yoga after the 5th step, that is the 6th step, that is Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. Now what Dhyan is something meditation is.
True.
Okay, तो सेकेंड स्टेप है. अभी धारणा की अगर मैं बात करूं तो धारणा कैसे किया जाए, धारणा का मीनिंग क्या है, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ धारणा? लाइक व्हेन you suppose take an object and you are just like we do it in Tratak, right? We are focusing on the flame. We try to be just with the flame totally without allowing our mind to think anything else, but just to be with that. Okay, even if you want to bring in the thought has to be of the flame only. Maybe the shape of the flame, the shade of the flame, the aura or the brightness of the flame, but everything about the flame only. And then when we are able to fix the mind in such a way for a long time, naturally we will go into dhyana stage, that is the meditative. So now my question is, how is it possible that somebody else can put us into that kind of a state?
Basically, first second होने के बाद ही टेंथ आता है. This is what you say.
तो वो कोई और डाल ही नहीं सकता क्योंकि ये बहुत इंटरनल काम है.
Interesting.
हमारे माइंड को फिक्स करना किसी एक ऑब्जेक्ट पर. How can somebody else can do it for us? That is something which we have to do it. So the other, of course, there are many guided meditations and all, but of course they are also trying what? That you fix your mind on their instruction. Right? And just watch your breathing, or probably they, whatever imagination, they are trying to make you do through their instructions. So you have to just be with that. So that is also actually in a way, you can say to some extent dharana only, but not meditation yet.
So if I can conclude it in such a way that asanas are in a way making your body ready so that you could meditate well.
Correct.
So the entire reason that one does asana is to make sure that you are good when you are doing meditation, or that is the only thing.
Correct.
And meditation is focusing on one single thought that you want to focus on. It may be anything.
Yes.
But don't let your mind run in all the directions that it could. Just focus on one thing.
Yes.
And look at it from all the angles possible.
Correct.
Oh.
And in meditation, the mind develops that kind of a power, we can say. It gets that microscopic power, we can say, which that it can go towards the atomic level of an object.
Okay.
Yeah, just by observing it.
And all this is written in
Yes,
Yoga
yes,
Sutra.
yes,
Okay.
totally. And in fact, when the yogis, they are capable of staying in that meditativeness to a very long time, slowly the siddhis, there are siddhis, many
Right.
siddhis, they start coming naturally into their system. They can hear to quite a long distance than the
Okay.
normal range of human,
So your body evolves with
Yeah,
it.
it evolves. They can see through their closed eyes. They
Interesting.
don't, the moment they see a person in front of them, they know everything, the past, present and future of that person.
Even that level of insight is
yes,
possible.
insight which is possible.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's the one pointedness or that power that mind gains, where these are like the by default byproducts that perks, you can say, that a yogi might get. But again, this also Maharishi Patanjali has written that these are also kind of a distractions.
Okay.
If you get involved too much or fascinated too much with these siddhis, again the chances are high that the yogis will deteriorate from the level where they have reached, and again they have to put the effort to reach there.
Okay. Don't indulge with those things. That's
Yes,
what he is saying.
Yes.
Okay. So yoga is in a way making sure that a human is a superhuman, if at all you are in that
It
phase
is.
and the right phase of mind and practice
Yes.
it well.
Yes.
Okay.
And in fact, a very simple one, like the fifth step of Ashtanga Yoga, what I was talking, that is pratyahar, that is withdrawing your senses. Okay, that's the meaning of pratyahar, withdrawing your senses. And then because our senses are usually, they are outward going.
True.
They are constantly bringing information from all the direction. Though we are right now talking, but there are other inputs which are coming. But we are making a choice that we will try and focus on this conversation,
Perfect.
right? So our senses are always outward, and due to which we tend to lose a lot of energy. So when we try to withdraw our senses, first of all, we save a lot of energy, and then that energy is being focused on by your own willpower or by the yogi's willpower. They focus it on that one object that they are trying to concentrate on. And that is how they start improving their mental strength or their psychic strength, we can say.
Interesting.
So that's why, yes, they have to withdraw. That's why slowly, as a yogic's life, if we see, or a sannyasi life, they totally withdraw themselves from a lot of things and all. But at Yoga Institute, from where I have learned, there we follow is a householder yoga. Where still being in our homely setup, in our day-to-day life, duties, rendering all of them, still how we can pursue yoga and weave yoga into our lives and make our life easy
Sort of
going,
smooth,
smooth going.
Yeah, right.
Instead of suffering everything that is happening another moment, from your health to your loved ones around you and everything, right? So
It gives you that power to
yes,
make sure things are smooth, and at least mentally things are smooth.
correct.
Wow, this is a different side of yoga which many would be experiencing this
True.
time around.
True.
And so, ठीक है, we had sort of a serious discussion and kind of a theoretical discussion when it came to yoga. Let's have some fun right now, okay? Out of all the students that you have trained, any interesting story that you would like to share? I mean, any fun story or any interesting story that you would like to?
So, not totally a student, but yes, a person who had come, had inquired for the asana class once, and that person had two very opposite requirement. One, he wanted the class to be very intense, and another thing, he wanted to become meditative. So it's like you are asking two different north and south pole to come together in the same session. So this is again, I wouldn't, say anything about the person. It is the lack of knowledge, right? So it is not possible. Like when your heartbeats have gone up, your blood circulation has increased by doing very intense workout and all. It is not possible to become meditative.
Right.
So
you require that relaxed state of mind,
Correct.
and things are so low down and stuff.
correct. And then another, because due to Insta and many of the reels and everything, so everybody has that notion in their mind that we have to be very perfect, or our body has to be very flexible, then only we can do yoga and all. Like, no, but yoga is like it can be tailor cut or customized for any age group, any background, doesn't matter. Even if you're stiff, still there is something that yoga can offer for you. So this is what I can think.
Right.
as
So
of
there is no
now.
perfection over here.
No.
You're still always learning, as
Yeah,
you said.
yeah.
So how, with your yoga knowledge that you have, how do you manage such people and situations?
Yes, we require patience, and we can try to answer them once, twice, and if they are unable to understand, it's okay. Their time will come when they are ready to understand this kind of a knowledge.
Right. So you let it go. I mean, you
it's
don't
okay.
get into
we
a
have
conversation.
to accept them.
Right.
As I said, no, there is a mental makeup. Every person has a certain mental
It's
makeup.
different in their
So I
mind.
can understand that a person is in a certain mental makeup, and I have to accept him instead of trying to mold him in kind of a imagination I have. So
Right.
it's okay.
So I am actually thinking. I mean, this is truly a deep thought that you have shared with us today.
True.
So what's your next focus or next goal with yoga? And what are you trying to achieve with
So
this?
as I said, no, it is a lifelong journey, whether
Right.
it is in terms
So
of asanas.
currently, what are you trying to
Yeah,
achieve?
even I'm working on my asanas also to improve myself on certain postures and all. Now the next journey which I have gone to is try and experience the meditativeness. So it can be done through multiple ways, like either we do it through just focusing with open eyes, like we do Tratak. Tratak is a very, you can say, the initial stage where we are trying to fix the mind on one object. Okay. Then slowly we can go towards mantra, japa. Okay, that is a very old and very
Tradition,
popular traditional technique,
Right.
which is, I think, in every home. One elderly will be there who is trying to do that japa and
So
all,
that is what you are focusing on, the voice, sound that is coming in.
sound. Yes.
Okay.
So again, it is like you're involving your. So I had got this
Senses.
question in BTTC program that one of the students, she asked that I do japa, but I do it mentally within mentally chanting the words and all. So is that okay? But you said to do it little louder. So again, it is like when we do it louder, we are involving more of our senses. Hearing is involved, your voice is already involved and all. And probably if you're not sure about the wordings, if you have the book or something in your hand and you are even running your fingers under that
Using
shloka
your
or
senses
something.
again.
Yeah. So you're involving all your senses on that one particular task of doing the japa.
Okay.
So that is how you're sharpening your mind and training your senses of not going as per their wish, but as per the mind's wish. And that brings in a lot of clarity.
So what would be your message rather to people who are truly impatient? The current youth is truly impatient. This is what I feel, at least. So what would be your message? You must have experienced a lot of such things.
Sure.
So what would be your message as to what they should do with yoga that would help them to, rather calm down, accept situations the way they are? And
See, yoga has many things to offer, whether it is asanas or pranayams or these kind of scriptural readings and all. So whatever they are interested in as of now, as per their level of readiness, nothing is wrong, and there is no like one is at a higher level or another. We all are here. We all are at the same level.
And basically, it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. We need to have patience. It's slower than the homeopathy, I will say, but it has a definite results. Because I have seen my life transforming into completely into a different person altogether. Right. So I can very strongly vouch for it, that it will help you if we continue to stay with it, with its learning, with its practices, whatever the yoga is saying to us to do. If we keep doing that, definitely we can see that transformation within us.
And lastly, on a lighter side, जब हम किसी को पूछते हैं when this question is asked that which is your favorite asana, I heard it many times that my favorite asana is shavasana. What exactly is shavasana? You just need to sleep down, lie down like this, or
so
how does it work basically?
Correct.
Yeah.
So what is shav?
Shav is a dead body. Yeah.
So it's a dead body pose.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So actually उसमें कुछ नहीं करना है, and that is the most difficult task for today's people.
Okay.
Because we are always on the go of doing something all the time, checking something or talking to someone or fixing something or planning something, and always the mind is like into that rajasic state of doing and doing something. So when it comes to just relax yourself, it becomes very difficult for people.
But that is difficult. That is what
yes,
you're saying.
it is difficult.
People claim that this is the most easiest asana.
It looks like, because nothing you have to do, you have to just lie down. But when we see them closely, either they are fidgeting with their finger, or they are moving, or they are achanak se they will be scratching, or they will start coughing.
Many sleep as well.
Yeah, we hear snoring in our class. So yes, that also happens. But Shavasana is where you maintain, again, see, same thing. You have to maintain the body completely in a still position where you can forget about the body and you have to focus on your breathing only. Because that's the only thing which is allowed in Shavasana. Right. The person is not supposed to move, and they have to just observe their breathing. Then naturally they
you aren't allowed to move any of your body parts.
Any of your body parts.
Just need to be still and do nothing.
Yes. But if you really experience it, if the person is able to do it really well, they will lose the body awareness totally.
Right.
As if they will not feel their hand or legs and all. That kind of a withdrawal will be there from the body, and it is just focused on the breath.
Right. Interesting.
And in that, the person is, if they are dozing off, then they are losing the consciousness. Shavasana is called as conscious relaxation. So the moment you go off to sleep, you're losing the main part of it, the main healing part of it, that is your consciousness. It is said that wherever you focus your attention, there the energy flows.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And in Shavasana, a lot of healing takes place and amazing relaxation, the body experiences. That's why it is a must after doing your asana practices. In many of the classes and all I have seen, like people, they don't do Shavasana. They will either after doing the asanas and all, they will directly jump to pranayama, which is a big no-no, because already if your breath is unstable after doing maybe intense workout and all, and now you're doing pranayama, you're already, and that is a subtle aspect of your personality. When it is unstable and you're trying to mend it through pranayama, how is it possible? So these are a very common sense thing, but somewhere it is sad to see that this knowledge is lacking in many of the
basically
places.
Shavasana relaxes your entire body and your breath as well.
Correct.
Okay.
And the moment you bring the attention to the breathing, it relaxes naturally. You don't have to do anything. It will naturally relax. Body is much more intelligent than our mind. When we get a cut, before we apply something or do something for it, already the work has started. Right? Yeah.
Nice.
The clotting has started. But with our this little understanding, we are trying to handle this big intelligence. So that's why instead of trying to do something to the body, we should start listening to the body. And the body itself guides us that what we should do and what not we should do.
Wow.
And that only actually helped me from what, after surgery I had gone down to 47 kg with a very low energy level and all. And from there, this is my journey, an upward journey in terms of my health, in terms of my relationship, in terms of my finance and career and everything wise, everything started changing.
Truly, it has been an insightful journey. Any parting words that you like to share to friends who are thinking to, start with yoga, but some or the other way there is some rigidity that they are facing. How should they overcome it?
So I will only, the parting word would be that do not compare yoga with any of the other, physical fitness. It is a totally different science and an experiential science, and it requires time and patience. So please do give that, then only yoga can give you something which is beyond your imagination or expectation.
Truly a different side of yoga that we have witnessed today, and I'm very sure that people will be truly interested to research about these facts that ma'am has spoken about. Please do that, learn more about the culture the beautiful culture that is hidden from us. Which is truly not hidden, but it is there, but we don't look at it. So please look around for it and learn. And thank you so much for giving us this wonderful insights and thoughts.
Thank you, Manthan.
You have truly enlightened many people today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.